to something logically, but that thing is very distorted. And they don't know, like, for example, there's a ton of people that fought in Iraq and Afghanistan that in their mind, everything they did made perfect sense. And the United States being there was to deal with these quote unquote terrorists, but they didn't see that every single input they were getting was from an input that they didn't see. Where why are these people acting like terrorists? What caused them to be so extreme to Americans? Like, why are they freaking out when you go there? Like, why would they strap a bomb to a kid? Do they feel they have nothing else to live for? Are they being held hostage? Does somebody have a gun to their mom's head? Who's funding this? Why did the funding disappear immediately and then ISIS is gone? Right? It's like, that's where the grabble is. You know, it's when you start thinking this doesn't make sense. This isn't human nature. You know, seeing two planes hit those buildings. Why did the third building fall down? How come in human history, there's been 3 steel frame buildings that have collapsed? 3. And they all happened on September 11th, 2001. That alone should get your mind thinking, like, why? How did that happen? Why did it look like a demolition? Why didn't it like fall over like that? Why would it be like a pancake? Why did a building with no damage fall down? And they say debris hit it. That doesn't make sense. Like, steel doesn't act like that. You just start thinking and you're like, so who the fuck did it and why? And then you think, qui bono, qui bene or whatever, who benefits? And you think, well, we went to war the next day with Iraq, Afghanistan, yada, yada. The State Department, the Pentagon was missing trillions of dollars. They announced that in 2010, that they had misplaced like $5 trillion. By 2012, we were directly engaged in war with Iraq. Now, according to their official story, the plane hijackers were Saudi Arabian. What the fuck did that have to do with Iraq? Why are we in Afghanistan? Because one guy is in Afghanistan in a cave on dialysis machine. And then you're like, this isn't real. And then people go, oh, so you don't think, well, I knew a guy who was in the tower. It's like, no. I think that buildings came down, but the narrative we're given is ridiculous. And so they're trying to create a magic show so you're reacting to something authentically, because the best soldiers are moral. The best soldiers in America come from the Bible Belt. They come from Nebraska, Alabama, Missouri, Arkansas. They come from good families that are strong, moral. They want to defend their way of life. They're good-hearted men. Really creepy, immoral guys usually end up at addicts, porn addicts, perverts, fat, incapable of, they're victim-y. They can't go through basic training. They're really like useless people. Immorality makes you pretty fucking useless long term. So you want those moral guys. So you give them a narrative that's like your way of life, your mother, your grandmother. It's all being attacked by these cave-dwelling Muslims that want nothing more than to blow themselves up in glory of a prophet who died 1,300 years ago. And you got to go save this fucking day, right? Now you go over there, hoorah, you're crushing. And over time you realize you're fighting for the guy next to you, not for the overall thing, because the overall thing isn't making a whole lot of sense. Why are you guarding poppy fields? Why did an interpreter tell you that the Taliban made opium and homosexuality illegal? Why are you doing these things? Why are you in a place where they don't even know 9/11 happened? And then these things start really weighing on you, but it causes pain. So you deal with that pain with suicidal ideation. That's why you have so many vets commit suicide. Drugs and alcohol, anger, all these things. And so that's when people say, oh, how dare you? How dare you? How dare you? 50 vets a day kill themselves. Why are they killing themselves? Is it because they have a moral wound? Because they start seeing it and it doesn't make sense? And then they get mad at people like me. They say, how dare you be a 9/11 truther? This vet is now sad and killed himself. It's because of you. I go, no, bitch. It's because you. It's because you guys are lying to these poor men to get them to leave their families, go murder civilians sometimes for a cause that was completely invented. Right? That's what I do. I break the spell so people have better information for when they make a decision that may or may not get themselves killed. Whether or not it's the moon landing, The shape of the earth, guys, is not for no reason did I put my reputation on the line and get called an idiot by morons on the internet all the time. If you're on a spinning ball in an infinite vacuum, the world doesn't make any sense. You can't have a direct connection with God. 27 billion years ago, there's an explosion and you're spinning infinitely into chaos that will slowly become cold and lifeless. How the fuck are you supposed to have morality in that world? That's a materialistic, nihilistic hellscape that you want to put a slave into so they can run into a gunfire so you can make some fucking money and get more control. Because you're broken. Because you come from a lineage of satanic fucks. Okay? And then when the truth will set you free. Even if you were over there and you did some killing or you did some shit and you see the truth of it, but you see the humor in it. You see that we've all been through it. We've all committed sin. We're all susceptible to lies. You forgive yourself, you seek forgiveness from God, and then you move on with your life with a fucking smile on your face. You don't think I can look back at my life and how many women I've hooked up with and all this shit and how much booze I drank and how fucking selfish I was based on songs like If It Makes You Happy, It Can't Be That Bad by Sheryl Crow, and being raised in an environment where like your masculinity is determined by how many girls suck your and whether or not you can get a threesome or how much money you can make and like that. I could sit around beating myself up. It's really not that different than war. You put your in a woman that you don't love, you never see her again. What'd she kill your kid? You never checked in on her. What would you tell her to do if you're 19 and she says she's pregnant? That's fucking murdering the most innocent thing in the world. Right? There's nothing more innocent than a baby, and you're a part of that. And you're pro-choice because God forbid you get someone pregnant. Okay. I'm not above a veteran. I'm not above somebody who bombed a village. Immorality is immorality. And I know how we got tricked into these things, but it's still always our responsibility. Once you see it, you now have a responsibility to explain it to the youth. When you put your in a woman, you agree to either be with her and support the baby, abandon your kid, or murder your kid. How can you do that in a hookup threesome on MDMA? You can't. You're setting yourself up for horror. Okay? When you drink a bunch of alcohol and get drunk, you're telling the world, I'm no longer responsible. If someone needs me, I'm a mess. I can't drive a car. I'll flip out emotionally for no reason. And I did that because I'm a fucking self-fuck. Okay? That's why I talk about these things. We sit around watching pornography. You're telling the world, you're consenting with your clique that you are in favor of human sex trafficking. That girl on that fucking video that you're getting off to, that got paid money so she can get drugs, typically. A lot of them are dead now from suicide. That you're saying that you're in favor of that. Whether you give them money or not, you're consenting with your clique and with your participation. And that's why this matters. It's not because I'm a prude, or it's not because I don't understand, or I'm judgmental, or holier than thou, or blah, blah. It's because I fucking have done it. I've been there. I see it. And high morality people are what this society needs, this civilization requires. We build. We are responsible for the future. We create the families. We raise our kids, teach our kids. We will rebuild Dresden. We will rebuild Atlanta, whatever the fuck these ancient civilizations were. When the way to rebuild it is by cleansing ourselves of these horrific sins. And the churches are not doing it. They're not. There is a vacuum for this type of talk because they tell you you're already saved because you accept Jesus. Just give them money and shut the fuck up. Enjoy the Coldplay and eat the cracker. It's someone's dick. Oh, that's so vulgar. It's not vulgar. It's not. It's true. What's vulgar is the fucking lie. Okay, moving on. All right. I did not make it to Bear Fest, but was there